A very pleasant good day, my beloved brothers and sisters in Christ and outside the body of Christ. Happy to join you all, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, minors and adults alike, the senior citizens, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all over the world, in all the nations of the earth. Happy greetings to mankind, the children of men, the human family that Jesus Christ and our Heavenly Father have created for their honor. You hear what I say? For their honor and their glory. But keep in mind, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, God created all the angels before mankind also for his eternal honor and glory. So I can't left them out because the angels was before man. Right? So I have put the horse in front of the cart and the cart behind, not the cart and the horse behind. You see? So thank you all. So happy greetings for the new year, 2025, ladies and gentlemen, all over the world, all and sundry alike. Welcome. I want to discuss with you all, ladies and gentlemen, a very important topic. I want to I'm dealing with man that God created, but I want to explain what is the breath, the spirit in man, the breath in man, the life in man, and the ghost. I will show you it all mean the same thing. Okay, brothers and sisters? Well, we read in the book of Genesis, the first book of the Old Testament, Genesis, the book of beginnings. And the Lord God formed man out of the dust of the ground, Adam, and breathed into his nostril. He breathed into Adam the breath of life, and man become a living soul. So opposite of that, Adam was a dead soul, a dead person. What is that breath of life that God breathed into Adam? God breathed into Adam the air, the wind that is blowing. The breath of life. This is the breath of life in me. And what? You see what is coming out? A force. You see? The air, the wind. God breathed at it and he come alive. You see? Now when that breath leave a person or give it up, the person became a dead person, will become a dead person. And if when the breath of life leave the animals also, the air, the wind, the breath of life in the animal, they become dead animals. Huh? Right. But the breath of life in us is called ghost. So it is the breath of life that God breathed in us, which is the air, the wind, and what? You see? It is called the breath of life, right? Because God breathed the breath of life in Adam and become a living soul. So man is a soul. Right. Now, so this breath that God breathed into Adam is not the soul, eh? It is the breath of life dwelling in the soul. And why is the breath of life is new? You are a living soul. Because remember, before God breathed the breath of life in Adam, he was a dead soul. He cannot move, he cannot think, no consciousness. Now, why you have this is a living soul. The animals are living soul, which is breath of life. When a person dies, they can't breathe. They can't breathe. There's a dead soul. So man is the soul. But the breath of life in you is not the soul. Right? That's the breath of life in you, which is the air, the wind. Now that very air wind, which is called the breath of life, is also called ghost, but not a spirit being. How to prove that? Let us go to the book of Genesis, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And Abraham died and gave up the ghost, which is that breath of life. So you see, Abraham died and gave up the ghost. He did not give up his spirit being or his spirit personality, looking just like him, that are form and shape that was dwelling in him. No, Abraham died and gave up the ghost, which is the breath of life, which is the air, the wind that he gave up, which is called ghost. But that ghost there is not a spirit being that is called ghost. Very important that you all understand that. Take note of that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you know that very said ghost is also called spirit? Because it said Jesus Christ on the cross said, I commit my spirit into thy hand, and he gives, I commit my spirit into thy hand, and he gave up the ghost, the breath of life on the cross. So Jesus Christ gave up the breath of life. Because remember he died on the cross, right? So the breath of life, in us is called the breath of life, which is the air, the wind. It is called ghost and also spirit, but not a spirit being. It is not a spirit being having form and shape just as the body inside the body. No, and that's what people misunderstand. This is you. The physical body is you that have form and shape, hands and fingers, but the breath in you doesn't have a shape and form like the body. The breath in you, which is the life force, which is the breath of life, which is the air, the wind, doesn't have a form and shape, hands and fingers. It's not a personality. And look, the wind blowing, the wind a hand and foot? No. You see, does it have eyes, ears? No. You see, it's just a force. Now, the breath of life in you, which is called the breath of life, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost, it is also called spirit, which is the said air, wind. That's how it is called in the scriptures. All these things is not a person, is not a personality. There's no form and shape inside a person. It's just the air, the wind. So the air, the wind in you that God breathed in Adam, which is the breath of life, is called ghost, but not a spirit being. It is called spirit, but not a spirit being. And we call it a life force. You see? How to prove that? Let us go to the book of Ezekiel. That all is the same thing. And God said unto Ezekiel, Son of man, prophesy unto the dry bone. Let flesh come upon the dry bone, let sunny, and now prophesy unto the wind. The wind, the air to enter in the dead people for them to come back alive. So you see, the breath of life is the air, the wind. God didn't tell Ezekiel, prophesy to the moon to come in them for them to live. Prophesy to the crocodile to come in them and live. No. Prophesy to the trees to come in them and live. No. Wait, you say, prophesy to the air, the wind, for the air, the wind to enter into them, so the dead person will come back. You see, so the air, the wind is the same spirit, the same ghost, the same life force, which is the breath of life. It simply means the air, the wind. You see, but people just misunderstand that. You see, it's right in the scriptures. You see, so I want to explain that to you all, boys and girls, that we human beings are flesh and blood creatures. This is the soul. Why is the air, the breath of life is within you, which is the air, the wind, you are living soul. Why is the ghost, why is the breath of life, which is the air, the wind, that is called ghost and spirit is within you, or we call it a life force, you are a living soul, right? So you is a living soul, right? We are flesh and blood. That's why the Bible says, thus we are, unto thus we return. Now, when a person die or animal die, the breath of life, which is the air, the wind, which is the spirit, which is the ghost, which is the life force, go back to God. It go back in the atmosphere. Because God who created the wind, so it go back to God. Right? And the same thing when the animal give up the life, it go back to God. You see? It go back to God. All these things belong to God. But you, the soul, which is the body, go to the grave and you decompose and rotten when they bury you. Or if they cremate you, they cremate your flesh and bones burn. Same thing with the animal. If they cremate an animal, it burn the same way too. If they bury animal, the animal rotten in the dust. Because animals are dust, just as us. God created the animal out of the dust as us. So dust we unto dust we return. You see? This is what the scriptures teach. So who is truly man? Man is a flesh and blood creature. Man is the body and must all times identify himself with the body. The air, the breath of life within you is not you. That is something dwelling in you. The breath of life, which is the air, the wind, which is called spirit and ghost, It is not you. That is not you. That is something dwelling in you, which is a better life. But when you die, you become a dead soul because you no longer have the breath of life within you, which is called ghost, the spirit, and the air, the wind. All them things is the same thing. You no longer have that in you because remember that leave you. Remember that leave the animal. You see? So man is a flesh and blood creature. Man is a flesh and blood creature. That's why God said, thus you are, and unto dust return. That applies to the animals too. Because when animal, if you put a dead animal in the open, it will rot and compose and smell stink. If you put a dead body of a dead corpse, a man in the open, it will rotten and smell. It's the same thing because the animal is made out of the dust. We is made out of the dust the earth. It's right in the book of Genesis, boys and girls. This is very important. Right? That I explained that to you all. So man is not a spirit being in a body. So man is not a spirit being within a body. The animals too, there is not no spirit being in a body neither. Because the animals are flesh and blood. Creatures the same way too. Because they have the breath of life in them, which is also called the breath of life, which is the air, the wind, that is called ghost and spirit, the life force. All the animals have it. Even the woman all have it. You see? Same thing with us. You see? This is the teaching of the scriptures. You see? Very important. So the spirit, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost and spirit, the life force in all the animals, is not a spirit being. And the air, the wind, which is called spirit and ghost, the air, the wind in us, which the breath of life in us, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost and spirit, is not a spirit person within us. You see? And watch to prove it and watch. You see? That is not a person. That is not a spirit person. A spirit person doing that. It's I who is flesh and blood doing that. And watch. What this is the breath of life. Watch. To prove it. You see, this is a plastic paper. This is that biscuit in it. Watch. I already ate it and watch. This is the empty plastic that biscuit come in. Let me demonstrate. Watch. You see? It's a force coming out, which is the breath of life. If you put on the fan, the breeze come in. You see, the breeze that is coming out of the fan is not a personality, it's an invisible force that the fan is producing, which is air wind. And you're feeling it. Look, the air blowing. Eh? The air is not a personality, doesn't have form and shape. It's a force, an invisible force. You can't see it with your eyes. Look, it's the same thing. Watch. Look, the paper is moving. But this force, which is the breath of life that I breathe in, it is invisible. I can't see it, but you could feel it. Just as the air, which is the air said wind, that you cannot see, but you could feel it because it is a force, not a person, not a spirit being having shape and form as the body. You see, and that's what people just mix up and believe the spirit within you, which is this, which is the life force, which is the air, the wind, that is called ghost and spirit. The many people say that is a spirit being within you, that have form and shape, that has the body, hands, foot, ears, and it is an immortal spirit, they say in you, which is not true. This is man, flesh and blood. Because thus we are, unto thus we return. There's no text in the Bible that says man is a spirit and unto spirit you return. No, God created the angel spirit beings. We were not created spirit beings. Very important. And I'm teaching you all these facts, this concrete fact, what the Bible says. Go and read it for yourself in the book of Genesis, the true makeup of man, how God created man. It is there for every boy and girl, all and sundry to upload it. Dust off the Bible and read it for themselves. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Once again, you see how it is moving? That's the breath of life, which is the air, the wind coming out of me, which is called ghost and all called spirit, but it is not a spirit person. It does not have it does not have a personality. It does not have shape and form. This force that is coming out of me does not have a thinking faculty, does not have eyes and foot, right? It is not an immortal spirit. It is not a spirit being. It is just the air, the wind, and what? It is invisible because the force that is coming out of me is the life force, watch, which is the air, the wind, which is ghost, which is called ghost and spirit, which is the air, the wind, the breath of life, and what? You see? You see? You see how you're feeling it? It's moving the paper, but you're not seeing it. Why? Because it is invisible, which is the said air, the wind. That's why God told Ezekiel, son of man, prophesy the air, which represent the breath of life, the air, the wind, to enter into the dead bodies, to revive them, to come back alive. You see? You see? And that's what God breathed into Adam, the air, the wind. You see? Which is the breath of life. God did not breathe into Adam a spirit being looking like himself inside the body. No, the Bible doesn't teach that. Very important. Take note of that. And do the research, and all will see it for yourself in the Bible. But many people misunderstand the Bible, even a lot of preachers, and saying that the breath of life in us is a spirit being that have a shape and form that has the body. That is not true. A lot of preachers believe say that the breath of life in us, which is the breath of life, which is the ghost, which is called ghost and spirit, which is the air, the wind, is a spirit being within us, which is not true, brothers and sisters. The Bible does not teach that. That's why we are flesh and blood creatures. Because, because, okay, I will leave that for our next video, brothers and sisters. I will leave that for our next video. So in this video, I cannot discuss everything. So I will have to discuss in the next video. But very important, take note of that. And with Bible opening all your hand, do the research for all yourself. Because I'm pointing you all to God's words, what the Bible teach, brothers and sisters. Right? So man is not a spirit being in the body. Very important. Right? This is what the Bible says. Right? Very important. We will see if I could. I have running shoes on me, brothers and sisters. So I'll see if I could run up the road and reach that 30 minutes mark on this video. Right? Right? That's a term. Right? Right, brothers and sisters. Let us hope that we reach at that juncture. Let us pray and hope that we reach at the crossroad in this video. Because I'm not frightened at the crossroad. Many people say they go and do all sorts of things at the crossroad. I am not going to do anything of the crossroad. I am walking or traveling across the crossroad and stopping by the crossroad. So after all, I'm not afraid at the crossroad. So we will stop at the crossroad in this video. No problem with that. Having said so, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, so very important. As I point out these essential facts to you all, biblical facts, because I'm telling you all what the Bible says. The question is now, why did not God create us like the angels, spirit beings? You all ever asked that question? Why did God create Adam and Eve, immortal man, flesh and blood? And why God did not create man, a spirit being, like Michael, like Gabriel, and like all the rest of the angels? Well, after all, he is God, and he have made that decision not to create us like Michael, Gabriel, and the angels that he created, but he decided to create us fleshly blood creatures, and the animals also, for his eternal Lord and his glory. God knows exactly what he is doing. Because at the end of the day, let me remind all and sundry across the board that we are not more wiser or clever or more knowledgeable than God. And any man who claims that he is more wise and intelligent than God, God only laughing and he. Hear what the Bible says, God sitteth in the heaven and laugh. And that silliness that man is engaging himself and think that he's more wiser than the Holy One of Israel, God the Father and Jesus Christ, God is only laughing at him. Laughing at the ignorance that he is talking and engaging himself in. Because God know that man didn't create himself. God know, you see, God created that man. But he want to put himself at the same level as God. You see, you have to, you see, that person have to recognize that he is not God. And the exaltation that he is exalting himself, that's words he talking. You know, you have the power to create as much as the moon and stars above. Having said so, that's a different topic by itself, but as I still even mention it, they just show the silliness that we human beings engage ourselves in sometimes. Having said so, very important. Take note of everything I'm saying, brothers and sisters. I'm pointing it out to you all in this video. Very important. Now, so God did not decide to create us as the angels. Create us flesh and blood, the animals, flesh and blood. Okay, right. That's the reality about it. Now, so that is what the breath of life in us is. The wind, which is called ghost, spirit, and the breath of life. The same thing within us. Simple mean the air, the wind. So in us doesn't dwell no spirit being within us. No immortal spirit being does not dwell in us. Man is flesh and blood. You is a living soul, while you have the breath of life within you, which is the air, the wind, which is called the breath of life, the wind, the air, and God and the Bible called it ghost and spirit. It's the same thing. Why is that is in you? You is alive. Why is that is in each of the animals and insects and animals? They are alive too. When that leave them, the animals die, they become dead souls. When that breath of life leave us, we die, we become dead soul. So what is the soul? You is the soul. So when the breath of life leaves you, you become a what? A dead person, a dead soul. Why is the breath of life within you? You are a living soul. You can move your talk, is a living person. The animal is a living animal. You see? You see, brothers and sisters? Right. You see? Because the same life force that is in us is the same life force in all the animals, the air, the wind. It's the same thing. You see? No difference. Very important. This is a teaching of the Bible in Genesis. I'm not making up anything. I'm saying what the Bible says. Brothers and sisters, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is a facts of the matter that is at hand. And I'm explaining it to you, brothers and sisters, right? That I'm explaining to each and every one of you all. Very important that you all know that, right? Right? So man is flesh and blood. That's why the Bible said, thus we unto thus return. Return to the earth rotten, decompose, and the same thing with the animals, thus they unto dust they return the same way. You see? Because they was created from the dust, we were created from dust. But the difference with the animals, they are not creating the image and likeness of God. We human beings are creating the image and likeness of God. That's the difference. Once again, let me repeat this 3 more times. Difference between us and the animals. The animals are not creating the image and likeness of God. While man is creating the image and likeness of God. That's the difference between the animals and us. Once again, the animals are not creating the image and likeness of God. Man is creating the image of God. So that is the difference between the animals and mankind. Very important that you all understand that. Because look in the Bible and to see if you all will find where God, the animals is creating the image and likeness of God. You all will not see that because that is not true. What you all will see in the Bible and what is written in the Bible, man is creating the image and likeness of God. That's what you all will find because that's the truth. Right. So I've mentioned it 3 times to you all. Right. Very important. Take note of that also. Take note of everything that I say in this video. Boys and girls. Very important. Very important. This whole video is important. That's why I said it's essential important to one and all. Brothers and sisters. Because in this video I'm speaking to mankind. I'm speaking to the children of men. I'm speaking to the human family. I record this video not to talk to give this message to the moon and the stars. I record this video not for the crocodiles and the caimans. I record this video not for the tiger and the bear and the elephant. I record this video for the children of men, mankind, the human family that God created and placed upon this earth for his eternal honor and his glory. Both Christ and the Father, the Holy One of Israel, the mighty God of Jacob, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This video is for mankind, for human beings. And I'm dressing you all in this video, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Because every human being alive upon this earth have the breath of life within them, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost and also called spirit. And we also call it the life force, which is life within us. Every human being have that, and all the animals have that. I'm not trying to be funny or engage in myself in any silliness. Not at all. Not at all. You all know any human being upon the earth that besides the breath of life that is us, they have a different thing within them besides the breath of life. I don't know other man had that. Oh, as far as I know, every human being had the breath of life, the breathing, the said breath within them. As far as I know, every man that born and come in this world and have died was the same breath and life that was breathing within them. The air, the wind. I wonder, Elon Musk. Elon Musk. How much money he have? He charge at Twitter and all these things. He's a businessman. He's a tycoon. He's a billionaire. One of the world richest man, or the richest man. Okay. I wonder if he had the same breath of life within us. Yes, he had the same breath of life within us because he's a human being. With all the money that he have, he can design no formula. But the top scientist that he have on that is on his payroll, the top scientist that he have in his payroll, that invented all the invention and things, they can come up with no formula and say Elon Musk. With all the $1 billion you have, give each of us $10 million, each of us, the 5 top scientists that he have on his payroll, and that breath of life that you have in you, we will take it out of you and we will create something else and put in you for you to breathe without the breath of life. With all the money you have, that could never happen. Once again, with all the billions he have, that could never happen. And these scientists can produce that neither. Only fooling me and fooling themselves if they try to come up with some formula with that. Only better mark my word there. Because I know exactly what I'm saying. That could never happen. You see? That can never happen. Very important. Take note of that example. To drive home the point. And what is the point? The point is, the facts are that the breath of life that God breathed into Adam, which is called ghost, spirit, the life force, which is the air, the wind, all the said thing, the air, the wind, it is not a spirit being within us. It is not a spirit being within us. It is not an immortal spirit being within us that are form and shape. It is not that at all. So man is not a spirit being inside a body. So man do not have a spirit being or a spirit person inside the body that are the same form and shape as the body inside of them. That is not true. God did not create man that way. But as I said, that is for next video. So let us deal with the air, the wind. We have reached a crossroad in this video. So we need to bring the curtain down in this video. So brothers and sisters, very important, as I said, the breath of life that God breathed in Adam is not a spirit being. It's not a spirit person. But that's the simple, the breath of life, which is the air, the breeze, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost and spirit, and we call it a life force. That is within you, right? That keeping you alive. right? Which is the breath of life. But it is not a spirit being within you, right? This is you, the body is you. Man is flesh and blood, right? You is the body, you is flesh and blood. Hear what God say, thus we are, unto thus we return. He referring to this, the body. This is me. The life force, which is the air, the breath of life within me is not me. That is something dwelling in me. Which is the air, the wind, the life force, which we call the ghost, the spirit. That is not me. That is something dwelling in me. Now when that leave me, I, who is a flesh and blood man, which is the soul, become a dead person, which is a dead soul. The animal become a dead animal. You see? So this is you. That's why you are the body and must identify yourself with the body. You are not a spirit being within a body. You see, this is the teaching of the scriptures from Genesis to Revelation. And it's right in the book of Genesis. Because when God created Adam on the ground, he was a dead soul. No breath of life wasn't in him. No breath of life wasn't in him. He was a dead person. You see, the breath of life wasn't in him. He was a dead person. He could not move or talk. It's when God breathed the breath of life in him. Then what it said, he became a living soul. So right there is the answer. Man is a soul. Right? But God created a dead soul, a dead man. God did not create a living man. The first man that God created was not a live man. He was a dead man. You see, he was a dead soul on the ground. Right? When God formed him out and things, he was a dead soul. He did not have the breath of life within him, which is the air, the wind, that is called ghost spirit, which is the air, the wind. That wasn't in him. So he was a dead soul. You see what man is called? A soul. The breath of life is not a soul. You see, it is not a soul. You is the soul, which is flesh and blood. Now, when God breathed the breath of life in Adam, which was a dead soul, now the breath of life, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost and spirit, the life force, enter Adam. He become what? A living soul. You become a living soul. But the breath and life that enter you is not a soul. That's the life force that dwell within the soul, which is you. So that's why when a person die and they say the breath of life leave him, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost and spirit, the person become a dead soul. So you see, very important that you all understand the difference. It's right in Genesis. It's right in the book of Genesis, right here. You see? You see? You is the soul. The air, the wind is not a soul. The air, the wind, which is the breath of life in you, that is called ghost, is not a soul. That is called spirit, is not a soul. Which is called the life force, is not a soul. That is the air, the wind, that is called the breath of life. The air, the wind is called the breath of life. It is called ghost. It is called ghost. It is called it is called spirit, and we call it the life force. That is what dwelling in you. But that is not the soul. You is the soul. And you is flesh and blood. Because keep in mind, the breath of life that God breathed into Adam is not flesh and blood. And the breath of life, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost, that is not flesh and blood. And the wind, the air, the breath of life, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost and called spirit, that is not flesh and blood. And what? You see how it coming out of me? That is not flesh and blood. This is flesh and blood. That is coming out of flesh and blood. What? My mouth is flesh and blood. My nose is flesh and blood. You is flesh and blood. You is dust. But the wind that coming out of is not dust, which is the breath of life. The breath of life, what? Which is air, wind. That is not dust. That is not flesh and blood. The breath of life that God breathed in Adam, what? Which is called breath of life, which is called ghost, which is called spirit. That is not dust, and that is not flesh and blood. But that is dwelling in you, which is the life force. And what? And to prove it is a force, and what? Look at this moving the paper. You see? Which is the air, the wind. What is flesh and blood? This is flesh and blood. Flesh and blood. If you choke a knife here, blood coming out. Choke a eye, choke a here something, choke my eye, blood coming out. This is flesh and blood. You is flesh and blood. That's why the Bible say, thus you are unto thus return. That's why when a person die, what is rotting? Your body is rotting, which is called a corpse. Is rotting, right? When an animal die, the animal is a soul, is a dead soul. What is rotting? The animal is rotting. But watch, when the person die, and watch, this left them the breath of life that God breathed in Adam, which is the air, the wind, which is called ghost and spirit. That go back to God. That is not rotting, because that is not flesh and blood. Is it? Right in Genesis it is, boys and girls. Now, who is so dare and bold faced now to confront Eric Braxton and say, Eric Braxton, you are lying. You're making up that. I ain't making up that. Well, read it for yourself in the book of Genesis. You so want to criticize me, Mr. Woman and Mr. Man, and say that I am some false prophet or some false teacher, that I am a charlatan, and I'm teaching people false doctrine and false heresy and false teaching. Well, prove it now. You just want to bad talk me and want to set me in a bad light. For not the masses of the people to accept what I said. You and your evil agenda. You and your sinister plan of agenda of full opposition to this video. Whether who you all be out there in the international community. You all just want to oppose what Eric Braxton saying for opposing sake. But with all that opposing, that you all will oppose this video, I am telling you all the facts, and it's for everybody to see it for themselves right in the book of Genesis. And once again, I will demonstrate that to all of you all who want to oppose this video and say I preach in false doctrine. Okay? And watch again. I will prove it to you all practically. And here's the concrete facts to one and all. Here's the concrete facts. And you all will see that I'm getting it right in the book of Genesis for everybody to see. Once again, for all and sundry across the board. As I bring the curtain down on this video, once again, I will prove to you all that the thing that is coming out of me is not me. I will show you all who is man that God created. And there's a difference between this that is in me, which is not me, but dwelling in me. And I will show you each and every one of you all who is the true me. Yeah, it's time to prove that to you all. And I come out to do that. Yes, I Eric Braxton, I come out to do that. When I was in the closet all the time, I come out of the closet, open to the world, to prove that to the world. Once again, if I was hiding in the closet, well, I've been hiding there for a long time. That's a term to drive home the point. I wasn't in no closet, but I have to use that to them. Yes, if I was hiding in the closet, I come out